Events leading to the 2023 election are fast building since the start of campaigns, and Nigerians have alluded that the country needs change. But beyond talks on who and how to change the country, what will engender active participation in the voting process? I am Blessing Aichi, and it is Viewpoint on ITV.
In this country, voting is optional. Once you have age, you are registered, etc. But there is a civic duty that every adult qualified to vote should go and vote in order to be part of the government. In some other climes like Belgium, voting is compulsory. If you don't vote, you can be charged to court and punished accordingly. Here in this case, while youths and other individuals should come out to vote, is the provision of 150 days for campaigns. And I'm very sure this time around, now that the campaign has started about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, parties will bring their manifestos. And this will ginger people to vote. It is when you vote that you can change the system. Social media, propaganda, grandstanding, beer parlor talks cannot change the situation. INEC has assured us by the Electoral Act 2022 as amended by March this year, the modalities for the next election. There will be digital voting, there will be immediate counting, and the result will be known from booth to booth. It will be different. It will not be business as usual. No one is allowed to write election results. No one is allowed to steal ballot paper. No one is allowed to have multiple votes because of the Electoral Act 2022 as provided. And with the incentive, the campaign is gaining momentum now. We hope people should come out to vote. Otherwise, they are failing in their civic responsibility.
When it gets to the time to vote, the money bags, the bourgeois, those that have the funds that they have piled up away over time, especially political office holder or those that have served in time past, they have, through all manner of dubious means, diverted so much funds, which it's in trillions, it's in billions of naira as well. And these monies are being used to manipulate the average Nigerian or the average person on the street. So now if you look at it critically, the economy is biting hard on Nigerians. So when it's time for election, it's a good time for them to come out. I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you XYZ, money, and all of that. So these guys have, well, let me just take what I have now and then move on. A country where the government of the day is borrowing 8 trillion to add to the 2 trillion we have to fund the budget. And they are telling us that if this budget is not funded, we will not be able to conduct the elections, which is sacrosanct, is very needed. But again, the question is now we are now asking Tom Polo and others to start catching oil thefts and thefts of oil over time. Now, what happened over time? Nigerians should just wish for the best. It's going to be the same usual style of somebody standing by the poll booths and doling out money, and police were looking away, and that's been the system. And it's unfortunate. This system, the leaders, they know how to catch the young ones. Now, as you have been on strike over 8 months, now they are going to come, lecturers are going back to class. Kids, you better get reading, exams will soon come, and this is about time the election is kicking up. You can see that it's a calculated attempt, in my own opinion, and I have right to it. Because if you cannot be calling off the strike now, when election is about to get started, where we have the large population of young people still in school. So I think that's just an unfortunate situation. You cannot tell them to leave school and start running around campaigning and wanting to talk about, they want to get out of school and become, graduates as it were.
For you to be able to succeed over there to get a job, you must be a voter. Even our people who are declaring for citizenship, for them to get their passport, you must have a voter card and vote. So if Nigeria can pass into law where you ask everybody, if you don't vote, you don't have access to social amenities. Because in Western world, they regulated it. You must have a vote, and they have the machine mechanism where you can be discovered if you didn't vote. But right now, right from 1960 now, the voter pattern is very low because why? The people feel that they are being ringed out, there are being illegality in the system, that if they vote, their vote does not count. But what we have seen for the past 7 years, since the prestations of this administration, Nigeria have gone beyond poverty, have gone even below poverty. Cries are everywhere. You can see the mass movement in the media. There is already sensation going out. Even now, in that time of early 6 years ago, there was not like this mass information in the media, this media talking about voter. The youth now are not going out because what they needed a change. And the only way that everybody will go ready to go and vote is that everybody should go in numbers, because now you don't need to be ready to go and vote, because why? You are feeling the realities. All of Nigeria is suffering. And the only way you can entrench a very better government is when you go out for voting. So even now, people already can see we don't collect, when they collect shishi. You can see there's already slogan going out in the city now. See we don't collect shishi. Some parties say they collect shishi. So let all the money back politics come with big bag of rice. Even we hear that they open an account for people now, so they can get their name in your data system in order to get money to vote for them. So this time, what people are doing, the media actually to contribute to it, that let us know if this country will get it right. We, the citizens, we have right to vote. It's our fundamental right to vote. And in 2023, we are going to see a very different wave in the moment of the election. Because why? We have seen it that our people are suffering, and we are losing mass power, suffering in the lives of the insecurity. And for this to be changed, we must come out to vote. In the Ministry of Federal Ministry of Rotation Agency, they're not doing their best, because when they do their best, people will not change the changes. In those states, we have Ministry of Rotation. And we have not seen them in the media. We have not seen them in television and radio. In the Western world, you go to them, you see everybody, even in the class, right from KG1, KG2 to 3 to university, they tell you about voter education. How it's necessary you need to become a say, to have a part in the policy of the states. And the only way you can do that is by operating and voting on that day.
It's not just about how will the talk or the actions or the interest of the people translate into vote. It is for the people, myself, yourself, everybody, to know that whatever you are saying or you are doing in the society, we form the aggregate variables that will determine the political system that will be responsive to the individual and collective needs of the people. So if I need a good political system, if I need sustainable democracy, then I need to participate. Now, not just stopping in my individual participation, I need to talk to other people that your participation in election, in democracy, not necessarily partisan, you must belong to a party. You must be interested in the politics of your community, of your society, of your country. And one of the first and the most visible index of showing that you're interested in the politics of your country is to vote in periodic elections, be it local, state, or federal, as the case may be. Now, when you have a developing democracy, sometimes even governments don't even want people to participate. Because somebody was talking on one of the TV stations that the bourgeois want, the big men, or the oppressors, in quote, want voters' apathy. The less you participate, the more opportunity for those manipulators of the system to have their way. So if you have scanty people going to vote, then it is easy to rig. It is easy to manipulate. When you have of such, you have high population of people in a political unit, in a voting unit. Even when you have talks wanting to disrupt, the crowd can scare. The enthusiasm can scare because they are human beings. Let it be a civic mandatory responsibility on your part as a citizen of Nigeria that is 18 years and above. I have a responsibility as an undergraduate. I have a responsibility as a farmer to vote in an election so that I can determine a political system that can be responsive to my needs.
Nearly the whole political parties have problem now. I would not want you to be carried away with the crowd you see. For me, I think they are hired. Let's use the obedient Edo State. For example, those in attendance that they were more than 700, if I'm not mistaken, thousand, or even 700,000, yes. But you watch the last result, where PDP mobilized seriously, APC mobilized. The total vote was below 600. That's why we tell you it's not really apartheid. There are so many people who register in two places. Although INEC is telling us they've wiped them out now. When they bring out their edited one, we will see. I am taking this next one, the turnout will be high because every party now have a serious stake in winning this election. First, we have to appeal to the political leaders who go with talks. If I were to be those people and I feel I'm not safe, going to exercise my right, I better stay at home. But where there's awareness, these leaders wipe from their minds that using talk do not in any way enhance the prestige of Nigerians. Then everyone will be safe.
To translate into action, the quest for a new leadership that would turn the tides of the country, respondents have said continuous sensitization of the people should be done by the media and other stakeholders such as politicians and religious leaders. This, they say, will make the people come to the consciousness that it is their mandate to bring about the change that they desire by actively being involved in the voting process. I am Blessing AHA.